Bill, in your practices in your collections business, tell me about the practice of leading somebody down the pathway to discovery.
When someone says they can't pay, it's our job to find out why they can't pay. And a lot of times the collectors feel like if someone says they have no money, that's the worst scenario. But it's not. If someone says I filed bankruptcy, if someone says I'm in jail, or they're in jail, or they've skipped out to Iraq, or they just refuse to pay. All of those are worse things than no money. What I teach people is when someone says they have no money, you need to lead them down the pathway of discovery where they can realize they can pay. And one of the ways we do that, we have some statements we use. And the first statement we use when we lead someone down the pathway of discovery is this: well, I know you do want to pay though, don't you? Well, I would say 99% of people would say, well, yes, I want to pay. Now, about 1% of people say, well, no, I don't want to pay you. I hate your guts. Now, when someone says that to you, you need to be able to know what to say back to them. And so what I teach is to say, I appreciate you sharing it with me. You must have a reason for hating my guts. And what we find out is a lot of times people are just upset because they don't have an answer to the problem, or they don't know how to pay their bills, or they've tried to get through the customer service and they get put on hold, or they bought a product that broke down, or they have a complaint with, they may even have a complaint with the previous collector that called. And what they're looking for is they're looking for a place to take a dump. Now, what you got to realize is if they're looking for a place to take a dump, you got to let them take a dump on you. And that takes maturity as a collector to let someone take a dump on them. But what I mean by that is you can't get upset because somebody wants to take a dump. And what you find out is when you let them just tell you all the reasons why they don't like you, and all the reasons why they don't like your company, and all the reasons why they don't like that product, a lot of times just getting it off their chest will put them in a very cooperative position. So that gives you a way to deal with that. Now, after they're done with that, and you say, well, I know you do want to pay, and you get them to say, well, yes, I want to pay. And then you say, well, now the only reason why you haven't paid is because you don't have any money, right? And they say, that's right. And then you say, if you had the money, you'd pay me, wouldn't you? And they think, well, you're a genius. And then I say something like, well, I know you are an honest person, aren't you? And I've never had anybody say, well, no, I'm not honest. I'm a deadbeat. My mom and dad were deadbeats. My grandpa and grandma were deadbeats. I'm a third generation deadbeat, and doggone it, I'm proud of it. They never say that. And what you do is you get them to saying these yes questions. I know you want to pay. I know you are an honest person. I know the only reason why you haven't paid is because you don't have any money. And then you say, if you had the money, you'd pay me, wouldn't you? Now, here's where I get all my resistance. So I say, well, no. If I had the money, I wouldn't pay you. I'd pay my mortgage. I'd pay my car payment. I'd pay my utilities. They usually have these reasons for not paying. Now, some people may think, well, that's horrible. How are you going to collect money from those people? I think that's great, because that tells me someone's concerned about their house. They're concerned about utilities, and they're concerned about their car. That's how to get back and forth to work. So I teach people to use the proper psychology here. Simply say, well, so if you had the money to pay your mortgage, your house payment, to pay your car payment, and pay your utilities, you'd pay us, right? And a lot of times they'll say right. So now what I've done is I've taken me and I put me at number 4 on their people to pay. See, the average pay-stu person owes 11.5 people. So if I can get to be number 4, more than likely I'll get my money. So what I try to do is I try to lead them down the pathway of discovery. Now once they agree to pay, then what I want to do is I want to recommend money sources to them. And I'm going to recommend that to them in such a way that they're going to feel good about the fact that they're going to go out to get the money and pay me, because you know what? I've agreed with them about the fact that it's really a challenge.
That's great.